afternoon, everyone. This is RAND. Welcome to the Global Guided Meditation Call for June 27, 2024, a little after 3:15 p.m. Eastern. Having a reverse aging health call and all the rest tomorrow night, Friday, at around 9:15 p.m. Eastern. We're talking about a couple of things that, well, that's why I say all the rest. The word courage. The word courage is derived from the Latin word cor, C-O-R, meaning heart, and from the old French word courage, which was used to describe passions of the heart. The heart is where courage is always found. It isn't found in the head. Courage is a strong, firm energy that actually radiates from the heart when called upon. When the heart relaxes, it opens. There is a deep natural strength that emanates from within. This courage is not an aggressive sort of energy, but one where you can completely trust and open yourself up to receive whatever comes your way. It takes deep courage to stop the efforting game that's continually pushing for some greater experience to manifest into our lives and truly surrender. It takes courage to stand up naked in the crowd and trust in the divine without relying on strategies of defending or protecting what the ego wants. To truly manifest abundance, you do not have to suffer at all. You can simply surrender to the universe, this universe, that is abundant and just beyond your normal field of vision. Look, wait, and relax. It's there, ready to be invited in. What would it be like for you to say yes to being courageous today and open up to feeling the abundance all around you, appreciating everything you see? Hang out in this vibration. Hang out into it for, my attitude is always hang out into it, not just for 90 days. All the financial prosperity, true love, joy, passion, career, and dream relationship will miraculously show up. Now, what stops that? How do you feel when you hear that? It's interesting, isn't it? Because that little voice, that little feeling comes in. And what is it? Well, what is it filled with? Doubt, weirdness. You don't feel comfortable saying that because you feel that it isn't real, that it is just wishful thinking, that it never happens that way. And you say you did it from the heart, appreciating everything you see. And then you hang out in this vibration, period, always. And watch what happens. With no expectations, no attachment. Who would you be if you just relaxed deeper into this feeling for even 48 hours? See, we allow it. That's the point. We all allow it. Either we allow it or we don't allow it. And that's the majority of this civilization. We don't allow the abundance to come in. We just don't. And so it's not how we've been programmed. Who would you be if you just relaxed deeper into this feeling for 48 hours? The secret to allowing abundance into your life is to devote each day to opening to this feeling and letting yourself relax deeper into the courage that you will receive what you truly desire. What would it be like if you knew 3 mysterious, super wealthy, divinely spiritual, self-realized guests from a foreign land were coming to visit you at home tonight? Imagine that they are standing at your front door holding the greatest gifts you could imagine, knocking and waiting for you to let them in. What would you do? How would you mentally and emotionally prepare for this encounter? Remember, you do not have to force them to come in. They want to come in. You just walk over to the door with an open heart, let them in. What would your most profound and self-revealing conversation sound like with them? What questions would you need massive courage to ask them? It's good to know it's so natural, so easy, and so effortless to invite and allow this new form of abundance in. You don't need any reason to deserve major amounts of abundance. You are enough. You are the divine. Isn't that enough? Many of us have been trapped in egoic games of not deserving or pretending we need to be, do, or have something special to deserve great abundance. These are just games which make it difficult to receive. Letting in abundance is as easy as knowing these rich friends are always at your door knocking, and they see your innermost being as rich and luscious as a warm homemade chocolate cake. When you step into the energy of courage, you will inhale the yummy smell of this dessert and see that it is already everywhere in your life. Think about one thing right now that you really, really, really want. Choose something that you want more than anything. Perhaps it's a large sum of money, a hot new relationship, a samadhi experience, a new electric car, etc. I wouldn't choose an electric car, but somebody would. Now, consciously open up your heart and feel the courage inside that will allow it to enter your life. Do not force it or try to make it happen. This needs to come from a relaxed space of trust. Imagine your heart is already expanded, full of outrageous, unstoppable energy, and easily welcoming this new manifestation in. Practice connecting with this courageous, abundant energy in your heart at least once a day as you go through this week. This will help solidify this unstoppable energy. So, one might say, you mean to tell me, from what you're sharing, that I'm blocking my own abundance? Yep. Now, are you consciously aware of it? No. It's just random. It's just habit. You see, as long as the ego mind's in charge, that's what happens because you intend or you want, and it doesn't come. Some people try to force it. You know, some people really try to push it, force it, and that backfires most of the time. See, we've been taught completely everything in the opposite direction. We've been taught you have to work your fingers to the bone, you've got to climb the ladder, you've got to do this, you've got to do that, you've got to do this, you've got to earn, do this, do this, do this, do this. And actually it's the opposite. You sit back, you intend, and let it happen. You open up. Let it come flowing in. But what most people do, they'll intend, and then they block it. How do they block it? Well, it could be just right after they intend, or later. And what's the later? Later is that then they start, that little voice comes in and they start doubting it. They start questioning it. Okay? And it doesn't come. Because it's closing a massive steel door so the abundance can't get in. And a lot of people get frustrated with it because they're not aware that they're doing it to themselves. They think it's something out there, something that that's something different, separate from them, and it isn't. It's like, have you ever had to make a challenging decision and thought, right? And you thought, is this the right path to take? Is this the right decision I'm making? Or perhaps you had a bigger question, such as, what am I supposed to do with my life? You'd be surprised how many people ask that. Many of us are caught up in believing that if we can make the right decision, stay on the good path and off the bad path, we will be rewarded in some way. Now, this may be true to some degree, yet in the grand plan, our soul is on an infinite journey and is interested in something much bigger. See, our soul is much more advanced than our mind. I mean, way beyond our mind. It has a deeper knowing inside it that feels which decisions and paths will lead to more joy, bliss, and freedom, and which won't. There's a deeper experience of understanding the bigger picture of your life that is found within any small decision. Your soul, spirit, or higher self inherently knows that it is connected with an infinite divine being that is the source of all creation. Something much greater than anything found in this physical world. Now, the advanced soul innately understands that discovering this connection is the real goal and ultimate decision to be made in this lifetime. And the other goal, decision or question, is merely a distraction. The fact that the media and society have been desperately trying to hypnotize you to believe otherwise only makes the real truth easier to be felt once it has been seen. Have you ever, maybe as a kid, maybe you remember going to a fast food restaurant with your parents, and you'd be standing in line, and you would wonder what you were going to order. I did that as a kid, right? When it was your turn. The moment that you stood at the counter and your parents were there asking you what you wanted, you knew you had to decide on something, or you were not going to eat anything for lunch that day. It's often these little decisions in life which contain this kind of deep hidden pressure and stress to make the right decision, or else we will not survive. Now, you might understand why it was hard to make any decision, because your body didn't want anything on their unhealthy menu. Believe it or not, that's what goes on. The body's sitting there going, oh, I don't want that. The misunderstanding inside us that says that this is right and that is wrong is simply conditioning handed down from our parents, TV, friends, family, societal consciousness. It is deeply embedded in our own thinking pattern. We all have this inner feeling of pressure inside to always do, say, and think the right things. This pressure has caused us to forget the real and important destination of our lives. This tension has created such a disconnection with our own bodies that we don't know what we want and feel an absence of the real thing that we are truly hankering or yearning for inside. There are so many decisions and choices to be made every day that we forgot the greatest and most obvious one, that is here and now. What we all are searching for is an unlimited, unending connection with a real feeling of universal love. Truth is that all moments in this life, good or bad, contain the possibility of finding this love within. The real goal of every soul is to live in this love by realizing that it is connected to this infinite spiritual source of love. What the mind has forgotten is that every situation and decision, right or wrong, has the potential to lead us into the self-realized and God-realized space. From this place, there is no worry, stress, or fear about doing the right or wrong thing. From this state of being, you cannot make a wrong decision. The mind is a funny thing, in that it is always trying to find a better way of acquiring more things, making life better, right? Getting somewhere in the future faster. It is deeply rooted in this need to be in control of your life, create everything according to the way it thinks it should be. This neediness to be in control all the time is what is creating all the suffering in your life. Once we realize that it does not matter so much what we decide, do, or say, as much as how connected we feel inside, years and even lifetimes of suffering will instantly and completely fade away. The only way to discover this place of freedom is to look deeper within. Go beyond the mind and our programming around what is right and wrong, and simply look at what is at the source of here and now. To go inside of oneself means to drop the outer world completely and discover that this universal love is abundantly within. This takes tremendous focus, courage, and determination to break free from the situations you believe are outside and inside of you. These experiences seem as if they are the ones creating your suffering, whereas the truth is that we are totally responsible and have the power to decide what we want to feel at any given time. Isn't that amazing? Now, say you came across somebody and you're in conversation and they were really ticked off about something. You could tell. It's not hard. And so you make a statement to them after you hear them, share with you why they're bent out of shape. And you say, you know something? How does it feel to be in that frequency? And then they stop a minute and go, what do you mean? Well, you're pretty ticked off. That's a low vibrational frequency. That's stressing your body and causing all kinds of things and chemical reactions in your body. Well, that's the way life is. Not really. You have the power to switch that right off and go into a higher vibrational frequency as I'm sitting here with you. Or you see what happens to us, we dwell. Once we get going, once something, flips our switch, we go into the downward spiral of irritation, anger, frustration, stress, all comes flooding in. Now, let's say that you're the one and it's happening to you and you go, oh, wait a minute here. I've been here many times before. I really don't care to go into that energy, that frequency. Yeah, okay, so this happened, that happened, big deal. Right? So, only you, nobody else, only you have that power where you can switch it on and switch it off. You don't know why you'd want to switch it on. Because all it does is we're in that muck, that goop. Rather to shift gears and to say, why I'm not interested in going there. I'm not interested in feeling that way. I'm not interested in embracing that anger and frustration. And usually it's minuscule. It's not something catastrophic. And then we'll sit there and harp on it with ourselves. Instead of just letting it go. It's like that cloud's passing by. Say, oh, should I grab that? Should I grab that thought? Or just let it pass by? And you get to the point where you say, I'm just going to let it pass by. I'm not going there. There's no reason for me to go there. I don't really care what's really been happening. It's part of this experience of this life I'm in. Really, that's what it is. So we can make the decision to let go of our entrenched struggle with right and wrong. Simply use our energy to consciously choose to access this unlimited source of love inside us every day. Once we decide to remain open and curious and find what ultimately brings peace to our body-mind in each new moment, we will discover that this infinite divine interconnection is already here now. This is the greatest and most fulfilling exploration you can undertake during your lifetime. So it's like say something, this is how it gets us, see. We're just kind of going along and then something takes place. Could be anything. Usually nothing big. But for some reason it triggers us. And we slip into the muck, goop, lower frequency. Now, let's say that happens, but you say, nope, don't care to go there, not interested in it, not going to embrace it, know what it is, okay, not running from it, face off with it right away, and you say, what are you doing here? It just vanishes, just flutters away, disappears. Everything we do, everything that we do determines the life that we're going to experience. Now, your ego mind is going to want to argue with you all the time. Oh, no, that's not true. You know that. How do you know that? And how many of us embrace that responsibility? Okay. How many just ignore it? This is all about what? Why we're here? Well, we're here to enjoy this life. But in order to enjoy this life, we have to literally deprogram everything we've ever known. That takes courage. That takes heart courage. As I said, that's where the courage comes from, in the heart, an open heart. Now, most, they'll just slip into that null, that void area where they get upset and then they savor it for so long and then it passes. Then it happens, something else will happen. And see, when you lower your frequency, whatever the reason, you're inviting in more of the same. That's exactly what you're doing. No ifs, ands, buts about it. You're inviting in more of the same. As long as you stay in that frequency, you're inviting like attracts like. Okay. So if you're in lower doldrums, or you're pissed off, or you're fed up about something, you lower those frequencies. Now, you blow off steam. How do you blow off steam? Well, you relax, you let go. See, a lot of people think, well, you go beat a bag, or you do something's exertion, but it's really letting go. And even if you find yourself letting go all day long, repeatedly, over and over again, that's a good thing. You let go of your life, right? You let go of everything. All things in your life, you let them go. Let life go, let everything go. One might say, well, then I would be dead if I did that. That's the ego mind coming out. No, you aren't losing anything. You're just letting it go. You're not sitting there just literally gripping on to everything for dear life. You just surrender it, let it go. Because, see, when you turn the corner, you'll know. You'll start to feel it through your heart mind, is that, hey, all this abundance is for me. It always has been. And I've been sitting there blocking it and fighting it, sinking into lower vibrational frequencies, and I wonder why I attract the things that I don't like. Sooner or later, you're either going to bump into it, you're going to discover it sooner or later on your own. But from the standpoint is that, geez, everything I was taught was supposed to be pursue, 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 pursue. And I didn't know that all I do is lean back, be in the now, set my intention, let it go, and the rest is history. It's the past. And it comes in, it manifests. Doesn't that make sense, really? I mean, here you are, God in that body, pure consciousness. Pure love, caring, bliss, joy, peace, tranquility, benevolence. Doesn't it make sense that all that, how we've been programmed to fight and pull and yank at times, when we just relax into the body and let it, and open our hearts and let it just come in? You end up becoming, I call it the organic replicator, because you'll be able to manifest anything you want. It isn't, oh, that's far-fetched, the ego mind says. That's not possible. And yet it's our natural state of being. And some people have discovered that they get there, right? And they have that feeling that just floods in. And they know that they're there. They know it. And they have no doubt, no fear. They have 100% faith, trust, and courage in themselves and this universe. It's there. You know, it's almost like you walk into this phenomenal bakery, candy, confectioner shop. And you're walking down the street, and you start to smell this aroma. Fresh baked bread and muffins and baked goods and the chocolate and everything. And it's in the air. And you catch it, and you go, man, that's, oh, God. It smells so good. No matter what you're doing, you go, I got it. I've got to go there. I've got to go there and experience this. So you do. You find, and there's people going in the same like you. You go in there and you're going, and they say to you, everything is free. It's endless. Take whatever you want. Now, what would your response be? Because this is key. If it's ego mind, what would you say? What's the catch? Is something wrong with the food? Are they just trying to get rid of it? Am I going to get sick? This is ego mind kicking in, say. Because they said it's all free. You take what you want. It's the same thing when someone gives you, let's say they give you a Rolls Royce, brand new. They come up to you and say, you see that Rolls Royce there? Yeah. Just picked it up off the showroom floor. Yeah. I want to give that to you. Now, ego mind's going to do what? What's the catch? Is it hot? Was it stolen? What are the taxes on it? How am I going to be able to afford it? All that floods in. Ego mind. What's the flip side of that? Phenomenal. Thank you. What a wonderful gift. You're not concerned about all the other stuff, because why would you focus on it? Everything will work out just phenomenally well. Until the ego mind comes in and starts, bashing and cutting and judging. Now imagine that you have mastered that and you know it. So when that comes in, you don't engage with it. You let it go right through you. You let it go right through you. And it passes. And what have you done? Through the heart-mind, you have maintained your vibrational frequency and you have boosted it. You've increased it. Most of us are in a hurry, being rushed around unknowingly lots of times, and we don't slow down. More and more people are starting to figure it out. Why in the heck am I in such a hurry? Doesn't feel good, number one. Well, I'm going to kick back. I'm going to move into the now, focus on my breath, and relax as much as I can into my body. And you watch it all from outside, not inside. You watch it all just float by. And you have no concern, because your confidence, faith, and trust has been built by you, for you, and the same with the universe. You're not concerned at all. And you just know that you will put out to the universe what you want, leave it alone, let it, and it'll manifest. It'll be there. And you know that when the ego mind tries to come in and doubt you, cause you to doubt, right? You can just cut it off at the past easily. You say, ego mind, I love you, but you're not in charge here. And it just fades out. Now, how many times it comes in, right? Because it'll come in more than once. We know that. So no matter how many times it comes in, you just say, ego mind, I love you, but you're not in charge here. It just fades out. What does that do for you? You practice, see. You keep practicing. And then you start mastering. This isn't ego mind, it's heart mind. So you're just mastering it. And then you direct it rather than it directing you. And so the heart mind oversees the ego mind. Isn't that wild? So in the quiet time of this meditation, as you focus on the breath rising and falling, you're in a comfortable position, you're as still as a statue. And ask this one question. Am I truly happy? No rush answer. You're asking the universe, are you truly happy? Now understand that happiness is within all of us 24/7. It isn't out there. Yeah, they had temporary, but not full time. The happiness is within us. We can choose to open it up any time we care to. Same with everything else. Love, tenderness, kindness, bliss, joy. 24/7. It's been there. It always is, always will, ever beyond, and forever be there. And when you say, am I happy? You're asking the God within you. See what happens. You're not expecting either. You don't have any expectation. You're asking that of yourself. Not about out there. Okay? You're not out there. You're in the now. You're not in yesterday or tomorrow. You're in the now. Joining the meditation, I'll return to close us out. Take an easy and slow breath in through the nose. Easy and slow breath out from the mouth. Remain still. Continue focusing on the breath rising, falling. Stop playing all the victim game. Curious how you'll feel when you trust this message. Implement this commitment deeply. Be free from your victim mindset. Notice your higher self is here now. Main player in this divine, all-intelligent playground. You are participating in this life. More love, trust, and awareness. Life responds back with the same type of spiritual goodies. Look out for your higher self. Always. Take this with you for the rest of the day into the evening and night, following morning. We'll return here Friday, June 28, 2024, a little after 3:15 p.m. Eastern, to continue our global guided meditation call. Be gentle, kind, generous, and humble with yourself at all times. Be in the highest of the highest high, deepest of the deepest deepest, purest of the purest purest. Eternal gratitude at all times, no matter what's happening outside of you or inside. Open your heart and allow the magic to flow in.